Om Balachandraya Nama. Om Balachandraya Nama. Om Balachandraya Nama. Om Balachandraya Nama. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh.
Lovely.
Good evening, everybody. And we're so happy you're here. I get to do introductions tonight. Whoopee! Anyway, you all meet Heather and my bestie, Priscilla. And I get to introduce you to my daughter, April Bond. And she's the one that does our recording for us. And she's going to do a show for us on about things like Sanskrit. And she's got a whole thing set up, and we're just going to turn it to her when we're done. But let me read the disclaimer, because sometimes we have a lot of new people that don't know who we are. Priscilla and I are just two crones sharing our spiritual journey experiences. And so please don't judge. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. We were guided to start this YouTube channel to share our journey and experience in the hope that it helps others in their spiritual path. And I got to tell you, we were guided kicking and screaming the whole way.
Indeed, we were.
So thank you all for being here and being part of our journey. And may we learn and grow in love and compassion together. Thanks. So I'm going to turn it over to Priscilla. She'll give you a background on my daughter, April Bond.
A little bit, but first of all, that gave me chills hearing you play it live. That was just thank you so much. I don't know if you guys know, but April is Heather's daughter. And oh my God, what a background she has. A ballet dancer, life in an ashram. She's a yoga teacher. How many years were you in ballet before you decided that's not your path?
Well, I retired when I was 22, and I did my last benefit performance when I was 26.
Wow.
So, but she's been doing it all the way through school. In fact, went to high school in Texas. It was where she would go to school in the morning, the afternoon was all ballet.
Well, the afternoon and evening.
And evening.
And everything else.
Yeah.
She also got a master's in English. What, English?
Writing poetry. Yes.
Writing poetry. So you're a lyricist, and amazing a lyricist at that, which is incredible. And just so many varied talents. I like that you're influenced by protest music. The first bit of music I remember hearing, other than the 50s rock and roll, that really caught my eye was Bob Dylan, 1960s. Yeah. So it's always been, that was part of my past. All that group, all those people back then. And I still love that. So, and also your parents and grandparents as well were all musicians, and something to do with, but more classical. Wasn't your grandmother an opera singer?
Yes.
Whether your mom?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my mom. And my dad was a concert organist.
Music has been in your blood since
yeah.
And you studied music as well as voice.
And she
I don't know.
needs
You're a mother. You add to this. I'm just reading what her publicist told us, says.
I say she's even played in Key West when we were living there.
Yeah,
You know that bar that had all the dollar bills all over the place?
that's right. I can't even remember the name of
I
it.
don't remember the name of it either, but they had dollar bills stuck all over the walls. I mean, she sang there.
I want to say hi to Keela and Garnet and White Dragon. Thank you guys for being here tonight.
Thank you.
This is special. That if you don't know, this is April Bond. She wrote the intro and outro music. She has studied Sanskrit, reads and writes Sanskrit, and does
Knows 5 other languages.
there you go. A yoga instructor. And what is it? The chanting, what is it called? I love the music.
The
Kirtan.
chanting can be, so kirtan is when you do a call and response style and you do it in a big group.
Yeah. I've been to several.
Whereas like japa is where you just repeat it like during your meditation alone, silently, or aloud. And japa can be done with a mala, with like a string of beads, or without a mala. So
interesting.
Well, I know you planned a whole show, so we're going to turn. Are we done? Are we going to?
Oh, fun. Well, anybody that wants to ask questions, feel free. It's all caps so we can understand it. Please, if you can, go subscribe to April's channel too. It's a new channel, and she can use all the help she can. But you'll really want to in a few minutes once you hear her voice. Oh my God! But then again, you've heard the intro and outro more than likely. So let me turn it over to you. Is it this way? That way.
Okay. Now we got it.
All right. So, hi, I'm April. And so I wanted to talk first a little bit about mantra and how it's used. I did mention that you often have a mala. This one is one that I made. It's typically 108 beads. That's the number 1, the number 0, and the sign for infinity. There's a lot of other meanings behind that 108, but 108 is a big number in Vedic lore. So mantra use can be for astrological reasons, like people might be assigned a mantra when they're going through their Saturn return to sort of pacify Saturn, because there's a lot of planetary mantras out there. You can be assigned.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Or, you might do like a what would be the equivalent in Vedic astrology of a Taurus mantra during, if you're trying to accumulate wealth, for instance, or you're trying to cultivate luxury in your life.
Right.
You might be assigned a mantra by a guru. You might just come across one that you really like and that feels nice to say to you. And a lot of time that's a good way to pick one. I'm going to put this down while I continue to talk. But so Sanskrit as a language, the alphabet ascends from the gut up through the head. So the first letters are the ah sound, right? You can feel when you say ah, feel where in that body that is.
It is very deep.
And then think about you, like when you say ooh, where do you feel that vibration? It's like inside your mouth. Like the ah can almost be like down in the chest, but the ooh is in the mouth, right? So we're going through Om right now, just in case I didn't mention that. But if it's an ah, ooh, m. When you get to the m sound in om, what it's doing is it's compressing that energy back into your mouth and opening the back of your palate. So
Mm-hmm.
it's pushing that energy up through
You
the
can
throat,
feel it.
past up instead of out the front of the mouth. When you
All
close
right.
that M, that's what it's doing, is opening the back and allowing energy to come straight up the back. So most mantra that is common is moving energy up the body toward the crown chakra. Another common mantra that you'll hear is Hari Om, and that also is moving energy from the diaphragm with the ha. Your diaphragm pushes up when you say ha.
Right.
The ri is up in the back of the throat, the top of the mouth, and the om pushes up and forward. So
Feel that, yeah.
there is a physiological component to mantra. And what I was always taught is that when you're trying to explore the meaning of a mantra, it's great to read about the myths or, read about things, but it's important also to feel it. And they say that you will find out what it means. You will see the meaning of the word as you get to speak it and get to know it, because Sanskrit is a language that is supposed to manifest what you're saying.
Wow.
When
Powerful.
when you say,
So you're declaring.
Shiva, you're supposed to, like, that mantra should be able to manifest the energy that is Shiva.
Wow.
We, according to Vedic philosophy, live in a sort of safety zone where we don't have the ability to manifest every thought that goes through our heads or every
We'll
word
be
that comes
dead in
out of our
about
mouths,
5
because
minutes.
we'd be killing ourselves every 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
we don't have that power but that's what the language is supposed to do, is produce that energy.
Yeah.
So
Fifth
another
dimensional energy, basically. That's
yeah
fifth dimensional energy where you're instantaneous. So you can't take any negative with you because it won't work there.
yeah right right, exactly. And then you have, like, the word Ganesh. People
Mm-hmm.
have Ganesh as a mantra. Think of how that flows in your mouth. You have the ga that is like a stop, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a coming up and then it stops, ga. And then Nesh, it just sort of whoosh. And Ganesh is that entity that is supposed to be the barrier, the decider between what stays in the metaphysical or mental world and what becomes manifest. He guards the entrance between an
Oh,
idea
we
of
love you,
something
Ganesh.
and manifesting that something. So you want him to, like, let the good stuff through for you, and maybe
Absolutely.
and it's that energy is more representative of our vigilance at that door ourselves. What do we allow to become manifest in our lives, and what do we see coming and head off at the pass?
Right, right.
So yeah, like that flow is in there, in just in the name Ganesh. And that's why all these deities have so many names, is because it's different aspects of that overall energy. So you
Right.
have, like, in the mantra Bala Chandraya, that is Ganesh. But
Okay,
Bala,
please tell them what you're doing. You're explaining our intro music and the words within it.
right. And I have a slide there that has, like, the I don't.
Oh, do you want me to put those
Uh-huh.
up?
Yeah, that would be cool. So the next one after that.
Okay. Hang on, here we go. I like this musical nomad member of the rebellion. Here, here.
Yeah.
You're home.
And our theme mantra, can you say those words?
So Om Balachandraya Namaha.
Right.
So like we've gone through the AUM, how that moves energy up toward the crown chakra. Bala has the meaning of forehead, strength, and child. And Ganesh is known as Balachandraya partly because he has a big, wide forehead.
Right.
He's the elephant god, right? With one
Yep.
tusk, because he
Yep.
broke off one of his tusks to write the Vedas.
Oh, wow.
So
There we go.
yeah. So
and then
and
what year were the Vedas written?
well, they're written over a long period of time. The oldest ones are probably about 3,000 years ago,
Right.
like 1500, 1000 BC. The later ones are like 800 BC to 500 AD.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you.
Because I mean, Vedas just means knowledge, so it's just a collection of that. And Chandra is the word for moon in Sanskrit. So Balachandraya means sort of child of the moon. But this association with the forehead and with the intuition and that guardian at the border of the imagined and the manifest is the Ganesh part, because he's very associated with the sixth chakra because of that position. So and Namaha, you'll hear that in a lot of mantras, or Nama, because you don't have to say the last A.
Right.
But Nama means to bow to call on, to invoke, to address, to name. So, like I said, when we are saying Shiva Namaha, we're saying, I invoke you to come and, present your energy to this situation.
Right. Please come. Please come. Okay, that makes sense. Hi, Diane G. How are you doing tonight? This is fascinating.
Yeah. Now that you've explained everything about you ought to sing it again once.
Om Balachandraya Nama. Om Balachandraya Nama. I'm going to stop there, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the second part of that, the Shadanam Ganesh, Shadanam means shelter.
Is that next? Wait a minute.
No, that's just, I forgot about that second part of the intro mantra, but at the end, you guys play the Shadanam Ganesh, and Shadanam just means shelter. It's like, shelter us, Ganesh, shelter us, you who's in charge of making sure bad things don't come into existence. Which is just a part of us.
I'm going to have to add a little Ganesh to one of my altars. It sounds pretty darn powerful.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He rides around on a mouse.
Elephant on a mouse makes sense in our world.
It's supposed to be symbolic of his ability to sort of turn on a dime. Like, you may think things are going to go this way, and then whoop, Ganesh just turns, and all of a sudden it's a different way. Okay, so Om Namah Shivaya. This is my personal favorite mantra. I've loved this mantra since the very first time I heard it, but I didn't know everything about it. And one of the things about it is that it is a 5 elements mantra.
It is. I see that.
Om is also part of the ether that would be associated with ether, but Na is an earth reference. Ma is a water reference. She is fire. Vayu is wind or air. And again is ether or spirit.
Yeah.
Um, so it's taking your energy from the densest to the most subtle
Yeah.
level,
Right up the chakras.
right?
Mhm.
And again, you have the name of the deity Shiva. Shiva's one of, so there's three gods and three goddesses that are the main ones. There's Brahma, who's the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really chants to Brahma. There's a bunch of stories about how he insulted somebody and he was cursed and to never have his name chanted, or but nobody really chants to Brahma
So
very
Brahma's
much.
out. No chant.
Yeah.
Brahma. Got it. Got it.
um
Bad news.
Vish
Chanting for Brahma.
Vishnu is he's the god of like maintaining order. Um
Okay.
he's more associated with this plane and this system of things. So it's not necessarily that he's on the good side. He's on the side of who's ever in charge in a certain way. He's like a more of a stabilizing force, let's say. And he has visited the earth as the avatars of Rama and Krishna. So Rama and Krishna, they're all Vishnu.
Right. Just different
People,
fractals of Vishnu.
right. And then Shiva's this, stoner god who hangs out in the Himalayas and meditates all the time, and lets things go kind of to hell in a handbasket unless somebody brings him back down from the mountain every once in a while and says, "Hey, you're supposed to be watching things."
That's funny.
So and then they have their wives. So
Oh dear.
Brahma's wife is Saraswati, and she's my favorite. She's one of my favorites of the goddesses because she is the goddess of arts and letters and sciences. So for Vedic philosophy, the men, they don't do anything. They without a woman, without a goddess, they can't do anything. They have no instability of their own to play with. They're just sort of a static energy. The female is the form that energy takes. So like a god might be heat, a goddess is fire or a furnace, but you can't have the heat without the furnace or the fire. So in order for that heat to be expressed, it has to take a form, and that form is the goddess. So the form of creation,
that's cool,
is arts and letters and sciences, right? Lakshmi is Vishnu's wife, the form that upholding this status quo is money and security and health.
He's your mom, one of your mom's favorites. Heather loves Lakshmi.
And then Shiva's wife is Devi or Kali, Durga. All of these are the same goddess, but she's a goddess of transformation and spirituality.
Kali was
Kali and Durga, yeah.
I only remember Kali from the movies, and it was a really horrible death group, and I was like,
No,
Indiana Jones.
Isn't it strange that they would do that with the spirituality, the spiritual one?
well, Kali is she is pictured quite fiercely. I don't have her over here, but she typically has skulls around her neck. She has her tongue sticking out, and it's bloody. And she's dark. Kala means like blackness. She's dark, and she she has a belt of human arms around her waist.
Yikes. I don't want
Because
to know her.
she slays thought. Like that's her big thing is like they talk about Kali slaying demons all the time because she's always rescuing the world from this attack of demons. The men always have to go, "Hey Kali, can you help us again? Nobody else can do it." And she comes out and she slays all these demons, but these demons are like thoughts and mental patterns like selfishness and egoism. These are the things that she's slaying.
Where is she right now, please?
Well, she's on my I have a Murti of her over on my little altar.
I think I need her on my altar too.
But so with respect to the couples, Brahma like sent Saraswati out to go and regulate the world, create the systems that are the world, the sciences, gravity, these are all expressions of creation. And he kind of got obsessed with her, as artists tend to do with their muses. And so a lot of times you'll see statues of Brahma where he has 3 faces, like a face on the 2 sides of his head and the front. Mm-hmm. And then because he was always wanting to watch her. He always wanted to watch her. And she was just like, "Ugh, he won't leave me alone." And she's trying to escape his gaze. And she flies up into the air. He shoots up another head out of his head to go and look at her up in the air. And she got creepy. Somebody to cut it off. And she ran away. And they're divorced.
I bet they are.
So that's the story with Brahma and Saraswati. Saraswati now lives with Vishnu and her sister Lakshmi. No, I think she's Vishnu's sister. So her sister-in-law Lakshmi, because Brahma's kind of a pain. Vishnu has done some weird stuff in some of his incarnations that I disagree with. So you're
not a fan.
I'm not a fan of Vishnu, not so much. Brahma was kind of a dork. I love Shiva and I love Devi, and I love the story of Shiva and Devi because
who's Devi?
So Devi is Shiva's wife, who's also known as Kali or Durga or any of those. And Shiva got married to her once, and there was this argument between him and her dad, and her dad didn't invite him to a party. And so she just like jumped on a fire and burnt herself to death because she was ticked off. So that was the first wife. And then she reincarnates as another person, and she grows up, and Vishnu and Brahma come to this girl that's the reincarnation of Shiva's first wife and say, "Hey, the world's kind of going to hell in a handbasket, and we cannot get Shiva to come off the mountain. You got to go get him." And so she goes to get him, and she can't get him to come out of his meditation. She does everything. She shows a little skin. She dances. She cannot get his attention. So finally, she starts a spiritual journey. she starts meditating. It said that she spent 1,000 years standing on her right leg in the Ganges, and then another 1,000 years standing on her left leg in the Ganges in meditation. And finally, Shiva kind of looks at her, kind of like, huh, she's doing it. She's doing
determined.
it, and he sees that she has become a force to be reckoned with as a spiritual being, and he becomes the first devotee of Devi. I should also mention that Shiva is often pictured as half male, half female. He's always pictured as blue because he drank poison to save the world. But
Thank you.
Sometimes sometimes half man, half woman, and he is a devotee of his wife.
Cool.
So they're my favorite
couple.
Really
should be.
It's my favorite couple.
Do you want me to go back to the slides at all? I don't know what's on them.
Oh, sure. Let's see.
Let's see what they got.
Because I know they want to hear you.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's go.
Interested in that?
Oh, yeah. The Gayatri. So we'll just go on to the more entertaining portion. I'm going to sing this mantra for you, and then I will talk to you about it. So this is a very...
a bit. Ooh, not me. How do I do that? I'm dizzy from that. Oh, you guys are okay out there. Let me just quickly say again, April Bond. This is Heather's daughter, and she wrote the music and lyrics to our intro and outro. And so she's telling us about what these mantras, I guess you could call them mantras, mean, and has joined us live tonight to sing them. So it's very exciting. And thank you again, April, for being here. Go ahead.
Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhagavad Vasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhagavasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat Tatsaviturvarenyam devasya dhimahi diyo yo na prachodayat.
Ooh.
Wow.
Carolina says beautiful.
Thank you.
Mm.
So, yeah, the Gayatri mantra is a very common mantra that you'll hear in yoga studios. It basically asks for purification by the light of knowledge. So back to the slides there.
Okay,
There
wait a
should
minute. I have to get you small again.
get me small again. Make
Add the
me smaller.
stage. There we go.
Okay, so let's go ahead. So on board Bhuva Svaha, that's basically there are three planes of existence in Vedic philosophy, and that is naming them and saying maybe this be true in all of those three realms. So the
Right.
three realms are, waking, dreamless sleep, and sleep.
Okay.
So or unconsciousness, dreaming sleep or dreamless sleep. Yeah.
So is dreaming sleep like meditation, or is dreamless sleep meditation?
Not
Or
really
neither?
either. Not
Oh,
really
okay.
either.
Okay.
I think that meditation would still be considered conscious waking
Okay.
for most
All right.
people. I mean, I suppose you could be in a trance and be more in a dream state, but it's not really, it doesn't correlate well with like brain waves in terms of those three
Right.
locus.
Right.
And then Bargo means brilliant, like shiny. Devasya Dimahi, like a thousand suns. Diyo na prachodaya. From this, from that energy, we ask to be illumined.
Right.
But the next slide, the next two slides have a couple of translations, which I
can't
can't
even read
read. Let's see here.
Okay, the Swami, I can't say that word. We meditate on the glory of the beings who has produced the universe. May she enlighten our minds. And the other one says we meditate on the effulgent glory of the divine light. May he inspire our understanding. We meditate on the adorable glory of the radiant sun. May she inspire our intelligence.
Yeah. So, and I put those two in there because I wanted to show that it's not really male and female, because it depends, like it kind of goes between, because the male is just the concept and the female is the form. So it's talking about the sun, which would be masculine, but Gayatri is the goddess that expresses that light. So you know what I mean? It could be called either male or female.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another slide with the next, there's one more quote. If you can read that, Mom.
Oh, manifest and unmanifest, wave and ray of breath, red lotus of insight, transfix us from eye to navel to throat. Under canopy of stars spring from soil, in an unbroken arc of light, that we might immerse ourselves until lit from within like the sun itself.
Yeah. So that's a very poetic translation by Ravi Shankar, the famous,
I remember
guru to the
the
Beatles.
Beatles
Yeah,
and the brothers.
he's the good guru for the Beatles because they had to leave a guru who was trying to seduce their wives and steal their money. But Ravi Shankar is a sitar player, very famous sitar
I
player.
remember
Yeah.
very well. Our
Um,
age group.
but and I forgot that I was going to do that a Shiva mantra for you as well.
Now, what do you want me to go back or take this down? Are we done with that?
You can take it down. Yeah, that's fine.
And let me get you back up to perfect.
Yeah, so this is Om Namah Shivaya. This is one that I composed. All of them so far have been ones that I've composed, but I will do you one that I didn't.
So many compliments on it. So
Yeah.
when I'm either of us say anything, oh my God, we just love the intro. And we
Yeah.
also use it not only on the Crone zone, but we also use instrumental, I think it is, on the Wisdom Circle intro and out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so
We
we'll
use
continue to use as long as. And she does this for a living, you guys. All of her information is on the description of this show. All the links that you could ever want in your entire lifetime. I think there were so many that Facebook wouldn't let me post them all. I had to get rid of some of them. I was like, what? I never heard of such a thing. But anyway, all the information right in the description.
Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Hare Hare Om. So anyway,
Thank
thank you. Yeah, it's my I Want to Seduce Shiva song.
It did sound very seductive.
Okay. What else? And then, so I'm going to play you a Devi mantra. I actually have a full album of Devi mantras that is probably in one of the links, called Chanson, which means invocation. I wrote and recorded most of it during the very, very early days of the pandemic. And I saw dolphins in Italy, and I was like, I want to give more power to the feminine right now. And so I wrote that album, and it's, I think it's pretty powerful, to be honest. So I encourage you to check it out. But I'm going to do a traditional Devi mantra called De Darshanama. And De Darshanama means like from the person from whom blessings come. Kind of like, and it's saying, hey, come give us some blessings.
Right.
But this is more of a call and response. Feel free to chant at your computer. I'm going to sing each line twice. You can sing the second time with me, or sing all of it with me when you get the hang of it. This is my take on this song, but it's not my, like, I put it to a bluesy chord progression, but it's not my melody.
Right.
But typically kirtan gets faster because we're trying to get energy going.
Raise energy, you're right.
Deda Shanama Devi Ma Ambe Ma Bhavani Ma Deda Shanama Devi Ma Ambe Ma Bhavani Ma Deda Shanama Devi Ma Ambe Ma Bhavani Ma Jeje 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 ma, jeje ma, jeje ma. Jeje ma, jeje ma, jeje ma. Deda Shanama Devi ma, ambe ma, bhavani 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 ma. Ambe ma bhavani ma, ambe ma bhavani ma, ambe ma bhavani ma. Jeje ma, jeje ma, jeje 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 ma. Deda Shanama Devi ma, ambe ma bhavani 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 ma. Ambe ma bhavani ma, ambe ma bhavani ma. Jeje ma, jeje ma, jeje 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 ma. JJ ma, JJ ma, JJ 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 ma. Dita Shanama Devi ma, Amba ma Bhavani.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank
But
you.
you can, in that, also you can feel the data, the action of the tongue touching the
Yeah.
palate, touching the base of your cerebellum, really, because you get that direct contact through the soft palate, and you can see how it might really
Oh, absolutely.
physiologically work to change things in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Hanuman Chalisa is another very common thing for people to listen to. It is a long poem. I have not memorized it, but a lot of people do memorize it. Hanuman is the servant of Rama. He's the monkey god, and he enlisted himself into the service of Rama when Rama was trying to rescue his kidnapped wife. And the thing about Hanuman is that Rama cannot fly, but Hanuman can fly because of his devotion to Rama. So that's
Does Rama have to run around with a monkey on his back then?
well,
To fly him around?
maybe so. But yeah, like
Is that
everybody
where
loves
monkey on your back
Hanuman
came
because
from?
Hanuman's a great guy. Rama, like, why are you sending this monkey god, king, to go get your wife? Why aren't you going to get your wife, Rama? Go get her. Go get her yourself. So, yeah. But I love Hanuman. But so if you hear of the Hanuman Chalisa, this is a poem that talks about all of his attributes, what he's famous for, so that you can, and all these things are speaking to you in symbols so that you can remember the things that you want. This is what we do with our altars, is that we put things on them that are symbolic to us to remind ourselves about them. Yeah. Like I personally have 3 jade lions that my ballet coach had, that I got from him, and they are on my altar to remind me to be fierce.
Right.
Because he was always like, you have the tiger, but no you must be a tiger. So
interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
I like the way you did that.
You'll also hear the Maha mantra, which is the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, which is associated with the Hare Krishnas. And again, that's more with like supporting what's going on right now. So when you're choosing a mantra, like I heard a story once about a person who was doing a bunch of Shiva mantra, and Shiva, it goes from fire to air. Like, imagine what happens when you have fire and you add wind to it, right?
Yeah.
And so Shiva is going from the fire element to the air element, which corresponds with mental activity. Vishnu is more dealing with like physiological well-being. So Hari Om is another Vishnu mantra that people do it to try to get things in working order. Like, remember, we're trying to put things in order. They're supposed to run the way they're supposed to run under Vishnu. So that's what we're trying to do.
Oh,
but if you're trying to you're trying to maintain in your life, you've got a job that's doing all right and your family's okay and everything's going okay, you chant to Vishnu and you're going to be fine. But you chant to Shiva, and Shiva is going to come with the fire and air, and he's going to upset everything and set it on fire. and things are going to change really quickly. He's
And
not
ugly.
interested in the status quo. So if you want to keep that status quo, you're going to want Vishnu.
If you want a bomb, Vishnu's your guy.
Well, no. If you want a bomb, like if you want a spiritual bomb, Shiva's your guy. But if you want to have a happy, orderly life, Vishnu's probably your guy. Like he's
Vishnu's
gonna
my
make
guy.
sure that things just sort of stay okay. And that's why people chant to Vishnu for health reasons, is to get everything running right. They chant to him for wealth issues, to get everything running right in their finances. But that's not what Shiva's going to give you.
Right.
So you got to make sure you choose the right one. I've also
Makes
heard
sense.
people say that you worship Vishnu in public. You worship Shiva in your home, and you worship Devi in absolute secrecy.
Right.
Because Devi is more about like that energy is more about like challenging you spiritually in the physical realm, I guess, would be more but very motherly. Like the Devi energy is really motherly, but it's also like, get out there and get knocked around a bit so that I don't have to teach you everything. Kind of energy.
Wow. I was gonna say that because you're getting close to the end of that.
I know.
Yeah. So I was going to say, you don't just do mantras. You also do not really pop, but
cover some really interesting songs.
Yeah.
Write your own music.
I was requesting that she would tell the story behind it and do the Bond song.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to stay on as long as anybody wants to hang out too. But I will do the Bond. And so my husband's name is Christopher James Bond, and so he is a little obsessed with Bond. And
so you're a Bond girl.
Yeah, I'm a Bond girl now, which is awesome. But we were looking around on YouTube, as one does, and he stumbled across some Bond themes that were not attached to a picture. Like Blondie did a Bond theme that didn't get picked up for whatever the movie was, but you can find it online. It's Bond theme, and it's really good. Really good.
Cool.
But that just kind of gave me the idea to write a Bond theme.
Oh, how fun. Fun.
This is the one where James Bond is depressed and tries meditation. So life's a mystery to me, more than what we see. There must be something essential to know, above as below. The evidence shows nothing is inconsequential. The road never ends. And I've been nursing my pride. There's so much to hide, so much inside that is crying for more. A trip to the shore, a heavier door, and tears for the pain of just trying. The road never ends, but surely everything bends in the end. This place is not my own. And nothing here can show that nobody knows we are watching, and no one knows what it means. These juxtaposed scenes where too many people are talking. The road never ends, but surely everyone bends in the end. This place is not my own. I'm going home, I'm going home, I'm going home. 'Cause nothing here will comfort me. Still my breath and close my eyes, shut it out to peer inside. Is there any bright to find underneath the veil? Now there's nothing left to lose, all alone, what's the use? Only now to see the truth that struggle was of no avail. Dive deep down where it's dark, I'm just searching my heart for anything somewhat familiar and bright. A star in the night, a clue that just might explain why I feel so peculiar. The road never ends, but surely everyone bends in the end. This place is not my own, and nothing here can comfort me. Dive deep down where it's dark for something essential.
It really does sound sort of like a Bond movie. It does have that,
Anyway, there is a fully nicely orchestrated version of that on the album I just put out, which is called Madman's Caravan, and that is available in all the streaming services, and you should
which
check
are
it
all
out.
listed in the description of this video.
Yeah. Yes,
A
exactly.
ton of links. And
Thank you, sweetheart.
thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank
And
you.
also, we want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday season, no matter what you're celebrating. I hope it's full of love and light, and don't let the chaos out there get you down. You know, carry on. We can all do this.
Yeah. Have a great Christmas and Hanukkah and whatever it is.
And I hope you'll come back, April. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for explaining our intro and outro. I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And everybody seemed to love it. So thanks again for being here. And good night, all. We're off for the holidays. We'll be back on the 4th of January, 2025. Can you believe it? And Akila B will be our first guest. And please go over to April's YouTube site and subscribe. And maybe she'll put up some new content soon. That would be awesome.
I will.
Until then, guys, I love you. Love and light to all of you. And we will see you next year.
And take care of yourselves.
Subscribing. Good night, all.
Love.